So we'll do the Maimer. This is the in the second volume, Chelik Beis. Mamorim Chelik. Now we're going to the Mamorim Chelik Beis. This Maimer, the Rebbe said in Shabbos Parshas Vayetze, Tes Kislev h'tshkט Chavtes, and the Maimer is Ato Echad. It includes several inyonim in this Maimer, which means it says here in the star that this Maimer was given out in honor. This is a special a booklet which was Tes Yud Kislev Tovshin Nun, and towards the Tes Kislev, which is the birthday of the Mittler Rebbe in the year Tov Kuf Lamed Daled. It's also the Yortzeit, the Yom HaYilula of the Mittler Rebbe in the year Tov Kuf Peichas, and the Yud Kislev, which is the day of redemption of the Mittler Rebbe in the year Tov Kuf Pei Zayin. So all these different dates that are associated with Tes Kislev, and this was published on Tes Kislev in the year Tov Shinun. That's when they published this this man. So side yaita the Shmaya, Shabbos Parshas Vayetze, Tes Kislev, h'tshkט Chavtes. So the Rebbe brings down that starts with the posik that we do in the davening of Mincha on Shabbos. We say Ato Echad ושמך echad umika amcho ki Yisrael goy echad ba'aretz. You are one, your name is one. Who is like you, the Jewish people? Who is like the people, Yisrael, who is one nation in the land? So we use the term here to describe Hashem, his name, and the Jewish people with the term Echad, one. And the Rebbe asks, it would seem more fitting to say the word Yochid only. Ato Yochid, Shimcha Yochid, Bikam Kishro Yochid Boris. Medayik Veit Kidushas Meiri Chome Admur Bimamore Dibramas Chilzeh. The Tes Kislev. So my father-in-law asked, it was Medayik, in the Maimer that opens up with this same Ato Echad Shimcha Echad that he gave on Tes Kislev. The Loshin Echad over there, he says that when we say Echad, one, Ugam be'echad hamonui, that would also apply one that is counted. So you can say one, and then you can say two. One does not exclude. It could be one, and then two, three. So one does not mean that that's alone. That's called echad hamonui. It's one that is counted. There's one, then there's two. Ukemoy gives an example. It says Yom Echad. It was Erev Boker Yom Echad. It was day one. And then after that, what happens after day one? The pasuk continues that after day one there was Ksiv, Achka Ksiv, and then it says Yom Sheni and Yom Shlishi v'chulu. So there could be Echad, there could be Sheni, it could be Shlishi. So Echad doesn't really tell you that it's only, it just tells you that it's one. It's number one, but it's number one could be following you. But by the Eibishter, it would seem more fitting to say only. Since Hashem is only, and he is unique, and there's nothing compared to him. So, as far as the Eibishter goes, he's more Yachid than Echad. V'chein Yisrael, and also we'll talk about Yidden. Hem Goy Echad Yachid u'Meyuchad. They're also not just their number one, but they're singular. They're the only ones. U'Meyuchad, they are the special. She'ein Dugmasav. There is no comparison. There's nothing like them. So it's really Yachid. It's not an Echad. So he should have said, Ato Yochid, Veshimcha Yochid, Umika Amcha Yisrael, Go Yochid. He should have said, you are Yochid, your name is Yochid, and who's like your nation Yisrael, who's Yochid? Then in the Maimer of the Frierdiker Rebbe, he continues, Yisrael, Go Yochid. What does it mean that the Yidden are like an only nation? Ubedugmas Aim that is similar to a father and a mother, she'ein lahem elo ben echad bilavad, that they only have one son, shenikra b'shem ben yochid. They are called, how do we call an only son? A ben yochid. So you see that the word yochid applies also to a yid. A yid is called, the Yidden are called a ben yochid. That's what means that the Yidden are really a go yochid, not an echad, they're go yochid. Because it's like having an only son. The Eibishter doesn't have anybody else but the Yidden. And what happens when you only have an only son? There's only one son. The avas ha'oidim libnom kshiyesh lahem rak ben yochid. The love of parents to their son, when they only have an only son, he ava gedele yoser me'avas ha'oidim libneihem. It's a greater love. A love when you only have one son is greater than the love that parents have to their children when they have more children. The love to an only child is much greater than if you have other children. And the same thing in return, the love from an only child to the parents is greater when there is no other children, when he's the only child. Ben Yochid Lahidim, the love of the Ben Yochid to his parents. He gedoyle yoser mikashem yoser Ben Yochid. It's more when there is more than one child. There's not, then it's not as a great love, rather than when the child is only one. So the same thing is by the Yid. Mekiv anshe Yisrael heim Ben Yochid lichid shalom. Since the Yidden are an only son to the only one of the world, which is Hashem, we are the only children. And therefore, in both ways, as we said before, Ben Yochid, the father loves him more, and the child loves more the father. And since we are an only son to Hashem, to the only one from Hashem, the love of HaKadosh Baruch Hu to the Yidden, it's a very great love. So it's mamish yochid kind of a love. So he ends over there. So based on this, we need to understand. So why does it say Mikam Chok Yisrael Goy Echad? It uses the word Echad. He should have said Goy Yochid, because we're talking about a Ben Yochid over here. So we should be Ato Yochid, not Ato Echad. So why is that? So the Rebbe is asking now on the Frierdiker Rebbe's addition that he adds over here. The Frierdiker Rebbe seems to associate that why do we have the question is because that it should say Yochid instead of Echad is because we're talking about an only son. So the Pashta thing in the Maimer, why should it say Go Yochid? That's very obvious. It seems from the Frierdiker Rebbe's edition that because there is a greater love from the father to the son, and from the son to the father, that's why you should have said Yochid. The Rebbe asks, what does that have to do really with the question? The question was whether the love of the child, an only child, love of the father to an only child, love of only child, would not even be greater or wouldn't be more. It's still the question. He's an only child. We say the word Yachid, we don't say the word Echad. We need to understand. The question the Maimon has, that he should have said Goy Yochid, an only nation. Move on the Pshit Bepashta. That's understood simply because we're only one. There's nothing like us. The Ben Yochid, and similar by Moshel Ben Yochid. Why do we call him a Ben Yochid if he's the only son? Is it because he loves his father more? No, it's understood because he's an only son. Why do we call the only son Ben Yochid? It's just because he's only one son. It has nothing to do l'chayra with the level of how much love there is from the father to the son, or the son to the son from father. Mashma, but in the Maimer is mashma. Why should it have said Go Yochid? It's because the love to a Ben Yochid. And also the love of Ben Yochid to his parents. Because it's such a great Ava, that's why he should say that level over there is that's why you should say Yachid, but that's not really why we say Yachid. Really, why we say Yachid is because he's an only son. My only son, you say Yachid, and that's why. But so why does the Rebbe connect, and he brings out the idea that an only son is loved more, and an only son loves his parents more, and because of that, we should say Yachid. No, we should say Yachid because he's an only son. Regardless of how much love there is between them, it should still say the level of Yachid, not the level of Echad. And the Rebbe was coming to explain the different levels, and we will continue that. Okay, we'll leave it here for now.
Okay, have a good day.
Okay, wait, hold on.
Double enough.